Aida Ingram. I wanted to share something with you, and let's just, you know what? Let's talk. A lot of people, and you might be one of them, I don't know, have an issue with boundaries. And I want to spend some time on this because I know it's something a lot of us have challenges with. And a boundary is just where you draw lines in your own life. Sometimes it has to happen with family, sometimes it happens with friends, sometimes it happens at work. It can happen just about anywhere. And when we don't have healthy boundaries, we start to see some really big challenges show up in our lives. Like, for instance, you start getting upset and frustrated when you're dealing with people because you feel like they just went a little too far. And, it happens over and over again, and you're not really sure why things aren't getting better. And I want to talk to you is that's a boundary. That's a boundary that you're allowing someone to cross in your life. And it doesn't have to be that way. But it does take a couple things, and this is probably one of the reasons why so many people have a difficult time with boundaries. The one thing is with boundaries is you have to set them and you have to remember to enforce them. Enforcing them is the challenge for a lot of us because we don't want to hurt feelings. We don't want to make people feel bad. But at the same time, if you don't set healthy boundaries for other people, I promise you they will not respect your boundaries. And that's when you have challenges. That's when you have challenges with people not knowing how to treat you or not knowing what you expect. And you can't get angry at someone for not respecting a boundary if you haven't clearly defined what it is. Some people will do to you what you let them. Some people will do to you what they let other people do to them. So if you're dealing with people with unhealthy boundaries, what you'll find is they start to cross boundaries in your life because they think it's okay because it's okay for them. So this is why it's really important for us to be able to define what boundaries are in our own lives. We have to say no to some things. I wake up really early in the morning. Don't call me at 10 at night. I'm not answering the phone, and I might not be happy if I do. But I have to let people know. And sometimes I let people know by not answering the phone if they call at 10 o'clock. Or sometimes I let people know by saying, don't call me after 10. But it's like I'm teaching them that, although you may be a night owl, 10 o'clock might be okay for you, 10 o'clock's not okay for me because I get up at 4 or 5. So when at 10 o'clock at night, that's kind of like my cool time or my sleep time. So what about you? Where in your life do you need to talk about boundaries? Where do you need to put them out? And where do you need to kind of put some lines in the sand that people can't cross? So I wanted to talk to you, like I said, about where do you find in your relationships, your dealings with others, and just in your everyday, what kind of standards do you have set out for you? And do you allow people to constantly break them? And when they do you get angry? I want you to think about that. That is something I'd like you to take some time with. Take out a piece of paper. I'm big on writing stuff down because I think it's great to be able to go back to a journal, or it's also great for you to say, you know what? Oh my gosh, that is something that I'm doing. The other thing is, where in your life, and you're going to have to look back over time and say to yourself, where have people kind of not encourage me to have boundaries or cross any kind of boundaries that I have? If someone's pushing you too hard in a direction, they may not know it's uncomfortable for you unless you talk to them about it. But if you never have the conversation and you're just upset or frustrated, they think it's okay. It's not, and you haven't said anything, so they just keep moving. And I'm not going to say that there's anything wrong with that if you haven't made it clear that it's an issue for you. So it also says to me this. The first one we talked about is, where do you find you're getting uncomfortable with the boundaries that people seem to be crossing with you? The second part of it is identifying, have you ever told people what you expect of them? Some of the biggest challenges in relationships is we expect people to give us things we've never told them we wanted. And that can be frustrating and angry for everybody involved. So the big question I have for you is, when you get into a relationship or even the ones you're in, have you made it clear your expectations of people? Are you being fair about what you expect. If you expect your boyfriend to bring you flowers every day and you haven't told them that that's what you want, don't get mad when he doesn't do it. And is that a realistic expectation for everybody? You might set that up and then maybe you are equally as giving and that's how you operate. That's fine. But let the other person know and be very clear about what's going on in your expectations.